Hello YouTube, this is That Guy 781 and today we're going to be doing another stove review slash test. I'm going to try to do the test the same day, although it's getting actually kind of dark outside, but I do have a light under my little area there, so we'll see. Today we're actually going to be reviewing the Coleman's Perfect Flow stove. It's a single burner stove. This is the burner. It's actually quite large. Definitely large when you compare it to the little MSR Pocket Rocket that I previously reviewed and did a test on. The stove itself I actually got for $14.88 on Walmart.com, and I was on slickdeals.net, and I went on there and actually had this on there as a special price. This stove usually in the stores closer to $30, so it's almost half price. And it was such a good deal, I wanted to definitely get it and take advantage of it, mainly because of the shortcomings I mentioned with the MSR Pocket Rocket, although it be only really one, which was the availability of these size containers. They're not available at any local big name department stores lately. It's not available at Walmart. I can't find them at Kmart, Target, or anything like that. I can't find these size fuel canisters except for at sporting goods specific stores only. However, with the Coleman, I've found these at like Walgreens, CVS's, grocery stores. These are readily available. I can go almost anywhere and get one of these. So that's really why I purchased the stoves, the availability of fuel and capacity. I basically ended up making the MSR Pocket Rocket once I received this stove as a more of a camping slash bug out stove, or something along those lines, or something I can give to like my parents in case they don't have a means to cook food or something like that in an emergency situation. From what we know about this, I mean, it's actually pretty heavy. This is not collapsible, so I really wouldn't consider this a backpacking stove. I mean, this is a fairly big burner when you compare it to my hand. It's very shiny. It's kind of like a behemoth of a stove. It's once it's all together, it's pretty big. So, but I am going to try to test it out today. We're going to see how it fares against boiling about 2 cups of water, the exact same test we did on the MSR Pocket Rocket. I'm also going to use the same pot so that there's no there's no unknown variables in this little experiment we're going to do. What comes with the stove is instructions, the stove itself, and the base. You don't get a fuel canister. I was reading a review on Amazon. Someone was like, "You come with a fuel canister," so I gave him 1 star. But okay, yeah, whatever. But that's the only thing. Everyone else is actually giving this thing some pretty good ratings. But I said the fuel is actually pretty cheap and pretty available. I paid $5 for the MSR fuel at Sports Authority, where these are available for about $3 at like Walmart. So for $3, I mean, that's a lot. You can definitely tell there's going to be more fuel in there, and just the sheer size and availability really gives this stove an edge. I'm really not as big of a camper hiker as I'd like to be, just based on time restrictions. So my main reason for purchasing this stove, other than the fact that it was cheap and I found it really hard to pass up, is probably going to end up being more or less an emergency stove. If the power goes out for an extended period of time or something along those lines, or even just on family outings, I can picture this being used just as it is. But my main reason was for emergencies. I live in a hurricane-prone area. Some of you may live in earthquake-prone areas, ice storms, blizzards. There's a bunch of natural disasters that can cut off your power source and can put you in a very poor situation. So I think having an alternative way to cook your food, also alternative to just regular open flame, open fire, because that's not always going to be an option depending on what situation you're in. I think a propane or butane mixture type stove is going to be fine. Something that's basically uses a tank, fuel, a regulator, and a burner. I think that's sufficient for an emergency situation. Naturally, you'll have to stock up on propane, but on the canisters, but I really don't see that really being all that much of a problem. And I don't know. I'm gonna look this up, but because this does have an outlet, it looks like an inlet here, so I wonder if these are refillable. So I'm gonna check that out too. If so, that's awesome. Like I said, I'm gonna have to look that up. I just got this today, less than a couple hours ago. So we'll see. I got this, and I went out and got the canisters. And I said, hey, I'm going to do a review so you guys can actually see how the stove works out of the box and see if it's actually worth owning. So with that, let's go outside. We're going to test it and see how it fares up against boiling water. The record for the MSR Pocket Rocket was 4 minutes and 50 seconds for about two and a half cups of water. So we're going to see where this stove actually fares against it. So let's go ahead and take it outside. Alright, so here are the items we have for our little experiment, the boiled water test. As normal, we're actually going to end up timing this test so that we can see approximately how long it takes. So like I said, it's getting kind of late, so it's going to be kind of hard for you guys to maybe see a little bit. I got the lights on, but then again, it rained, it's getting dark, and mosquitoes are actually pretty bad out here. I had to go get a bunch of citronella candles out of the house and get some freaking insect repellent because it's just bad right now. But I'm going to go and set it up and then we'll check it out. Alright, so we got the stove set on the actual propane cylinder. We got some water in here. Say that's about 2 cups. And let's see if I can go and extract this without burning myself or exploding the world. Alright, you guys can hear the gas. I know I can hear it. Once again, this is that new rod. Let's see if it catches. Yeah, it caught. Not any problem. So we're going to set that on there. We'll set it right about that heat. That's like the second click over, so we'll see how long that takes. And the clock starts now. And we'll check back in on it in approximately about say 5 minutes or so. We'll see where it's at. Well, we'll try to check on it at about 4 minutes. If it starts boiling before then we'll see where it's at then. The goal here is to see if it can actually get to the boiling point faster than the MSR Pocket Rocket, which I'm pretty sure it will, given the amount of flame that it's producing, how wide it is, how much more dispersed it is compared to the MSR. So we're just gonna see what happens. I'll check back in with you guys as soon as it starts boiling. Alright, we're just 1 minute and 45 seconds into this right here. Well, 1 minute and 50 something seconds. And as you can see, we're already starting to get a roaring boil. No joke. Look at that. So I'm pretty sure it's already safe. Yeah, we've got boiling to the point where it should be able to kill the bacteria in a situation when you have to boil water, and that's in just about 2 minutes. So I think it's kind of fair to say that this setup is going to be far superior to the MSR Pocket Rocket, but then again, it's a much larger unit. So, I mean, I'm not even sure if I should even put them in the same category. I'm just going to put this in a category by itself as a home emergency stove, and I think it'll fulfill that role just fine. So let's go back inside, get out of these mosquitoes, and continue this review. Alright, now that we're back inside, let's talk a bit more about what we just experienced. So, MSR Pocket Rocket, very compact, awesome camping stove. This is the fuel supply for it, stands about yay high. Boils 2 cups of water, roughly 4 minutes and 50 seconds. This is on my test. I can't speak for everyone else's, but this is what you saw on my videos. The Coleman single burner perfect flow stove. Wow. I spent $15 on this. Boiled the water in 2 minutes and about 5 seconds. 2 cups of water. The containers are about, I mean not the containers, but the fuel supply, the propane, is actually about $2 less a container for a lot more. Now, as a guy with not a lot of money, as most of us are, I'd recommend the Coleman Perfect Flow. The MSR Pocket Rocket cost me roughly $40, and the containers are $5 each. Granted, you're probably not going to get this stove for the price I got it for, which is $14.88. You're probably going to get it for about $26 to $30 at your local store or online. But for the availability of the fuel and the speed in which it cooks stuff at, I definitely would recommend it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't grill with propane. Actually, I don't. I'm a charcoal guy. But you can only keep so much charcoal on hand for an emergency, and charcoal is just not my preferred method in an emergency. It takes too long to cook. I may not be in a position where I want to be outside that long. I mean, I may be in a position where the only place I can cook is right outside my door. You know what I mean? Like, I may not be able to travel very far away where I don't want the smoke coming in my house. And I think this type of cooking system in an emergency is definitely going to outweigh charcoal in a lot of areas. Like I said, I recommend for anybody. Average Joe should always have an alternate means of cooking other than their standard, stove and microwave, given the fact that the power could go out for an extended period of time for any number of reasons, no matter where you live in the country. Heck, a heat wave could occur. Too many people use electricity, and the electricity grid goes down from being overdrawn, which we have seen in places like New York, where it's a heat wave, too many people cranking up their AC, next thing you know, the power grid goes down. And then they're stuck in the heat. Also, now they're stuck in the heat, but now they can't cook either. And it's the exact opposite, like places that are prone to blizzards. Same thing, places that are prone to hurricanes and earthquakes and hurricanes. I think it just combined those two. I don't know what a hurricane is. Just disregard that one. But I highly recommend it. What it comes with, as stated, it's just this plastic, simple stand for the propane. And this stove itself works great. Highly recommend it. Definitely good for emergencies. And it's good for camping too, but not for backpacking. I think it's a little large for backpacking. For backpacking, I'd rather go with something like the MSR Pocket Rocket. Well, with that said, this is that guy 781 signing out. I appreciate you for watching this review. Please feel free to subscribe for more gear reviews, gun reviews, and I'm actually going to start doing more knife reviews. Thank you guys for watching.